What is COSO Framework? Why do companies with large finance teams still face fraud? Why do internal control failures happen even in established organizations? Why do regulators insist on structured control frameworks? The answer often lies in how well internal controls are designed and monitored. And one of the most widely used frameworks for internal control is the COSO framework. If you work in finance, audit, compliance, or risk, you have probably heard this term. But what exactly is COSO? And why is it so important? Let us break it down in simple language. COSO stands for the Committee of Sponsoring Organizations of the Treadway Commission. It developed a globally recognized framework for designing, implementing, and evaluating internal controls. The COSO Internal Control Framework was first introduced in 1992 and later updated. Its purpose is simple: to help organizations ensure reliable financial reporting, effective operations, compliance with laws and regulations. COSO provides a structured model that organizations can use to assess whether their control systems are strong and functioning properly. It is not a regulation. It is a framework, a guiding structure. But many regulators and auditors refer to COSO when evaluating internal control systems. The COSO framework is built on 5 core components. First, control environment. This is the foundation. It includes ethics, leadership tone, governance structure, and accountability. Second, risk assessment. Organizations must identify and evaluate risks that may prevent achievement of objectives. Third, control activities. These are the actual policies and procedures implemented to reduce risk. For example, approval processes, segregation of duties, reconciliations. Fourth, information and communication. Relevant information must flow across the organization so that decisions are informed. Fifth, monitoring activities. Internal controls must be reviewed regularly to ensure they remain effective. If any of these components are weak, the entire control system becomes fragile. Let us take a simple example. Suppose a company wants to prevent fraud in vendor payments. Control environment ensures ethical culture and accountability. Risk assessment identifies the possibility of unauthorized payments. Control activities include dual approval for payments and segregation of duties between processing and authorizing. Information and communication ensure transaction reports are shared with management. Monitoring ensures periodic audits detect irregularities. If one element fails, say monitoring is weak, fraud may go undetected. COSO ensures internal control is not isolated. It integrates culture, process, communication, and review into one structured system. COSO is important for several reasons. First, it provides a standard structure for evaluating controls. Second, it improves transparency and accountability. Third, it strengthens corporate governance. In many jurisdictions, companies are expected to demonstrate effective internal control over financial reporting. Frameworks like COSO help management document and assess control effectiveness. Investors also value organizations with strong internal control systems because strong controls reduce the likelihood of fraud, misstatement, and operational breakdown. COSO does not guarantee zero failure, but it reduces vulnerability significantly. It is important to understand that COSO is closely linked with risk management. Risk assessment is one of its core components. In fact, COSO also developed an enterprise risk management framework. Internal control and risk management work together. Risk identifies potential threats. Controls reduce exposure. Together, they build organizational resilience. Here is the key takeaway. COSO is not just a checklist. It is a mindset. It ensures that organizations operate with structure, discipline, and accountability. In a world where governance expectations are rising, strong internal control frameworks are essential because sustainable growth depends not only on revenue, It depends on reliable systems. And COSO provides the blueprint for building those systems.